What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLORIan here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome to my Walking Dead 10-11 review and discussion video. Like usual, we're going to go through the series review first, and then we're going to go right into the discussion where we discuss some awesome scenes in the second half. So without further ado, I need to track the top right into the review. The acting in this episode was really good. Like, there was many moments in this episode where so many people had to give, like, you know, had their moments to shine and give different, like, awesome reactions. Whether it was emotional, you know, sad, or, you know, just, like, you know, really awesome and just give awesome speeches and shit like that. The guy that plays Earl, Norman Reedus, Melissa McBride, Carrie Payne, the guy that plays, I think, Eugene, the woman that plays Rosita, just everyone did a fantastic job this episode. Like, I can't name a person that did, well, and I'm pretty sure there was some bad performances that I just, like, you know, or, like, you know, not as great performances as everyone else and everything that I didn't mention, but, or can't think of right now or anything, but for the most part, it was all pretty good. The camera work in this episode was stunning. Like, probably my favorite shot episode besides, like, you know, I think Stalker in this entire season so far, or that I could think of at the moment or anything. I did definitely like the camera work in this, like, you know, episode, especially during the Battle of Hilltop. Like, when those arrows went over everyone's heads and hit the hilltop, it was just, like, in just that beautiful ending shot, just beautiful cinematography all around. The effects were really good with the massive amounts of fire, which I'm not sure if everyone knows or anything, but at least this might be true or might not be true. I think Greg Nicotero during, I think, Talking Dead, or might have been some other thing about this episode, but he said all those fires were practical, which I'm not sure if I could believe that all the way or anything, but if I'm just gonna take his word for it and just say it was done beautifully, and it did look practical. That electric fence was really cool and everything, with all the walkers hitting it and being, like, decapitated and everything. The walkers, of course, always looking, like, absolutely fantastic and everything, with all, like, you know, the different kind of designs and everything, all that type of stuff. The story and how the episode, like, was structured and everything was fantastic. Pretty much all of it, like, you know, the ending half and everything was the battle, but pretty much all leading up to the battle, since everyone was, like, kind of realizing, oh, there's no way out or any way to escape this battle, and I think since all the roads are blocked and the Whisperers are coming with their horde, everyone was just preparing to, like, either fight and win or die, and everyone was just acting and doing things knowing that they might die, and that was just, like, fantastic, and I just loved how that was, like, structured in the episode. Like, it was beautiful. The music was pretty good, but it felt like sometimes it felt like there was, like, barely any moments in the episode where there was, like, no music at all, and at first I thought that was gonna ruin my rating for the episode, but like, I don't know, now that I think about it now and everything, after I just kind of rewatched the episode just now, I feel like it was kind of just, like, it was pretty good. Like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was at the moment, and it did help convey, like, you know, the feeling of, like, this is the fight of our lives and we might die doing this. It did a really good job conveying that. The editing was just great. Like, it really was, like, something special, especially in this episode. The pacing was really good. There were some moments more so during, like, the Whisper battle at the hilltop. Well, I wouldn't say Whisper, since the Whispers are kind of in the back half and everything. I think more in the next episode 12, that there might be more, like, Whisper and Survivor contact in battle. But during the battle, it felt like I was watching a trailer, like, with all the quick cuts and everything, and the overuse of slow motion, which, like, I did with, like, you know, the music and everything. I don't care as much now and everything, and after, like, you know, the rewatch, it did look pretty badass and cool, but it did look a little bit like a trailer, but like I said, it was fine, I guess. The characters in this episode were pretty good, and this is more so touching on character traits, since we know all the characters, like, anyway on the show, so there's no point in going, like, oh, this character was good, this character wasn't. Carol felt like old Carol in this episode a lot. Like, I feel like she was, like, season 6, 7 or anything, like, all of that. Like, I feel like she's, like, slowly healing and everything, and gaining her sense of humor back and everything, and just being happy again. Especially with, like, you know, her being back with, like, kind of back with Ezekiel and everything. I felt that was pretty nice, and I love that all around. Oh, God, Alden. He was such an unlikable asshole in this episode, man. Like, how he snapped at Aaron and, like, you know, Mary / Gamma and everything. Like, I don't hate the actor that plays him. I just felt his character was such an unlikable asshole in this episode. But that was my kind of review and everything. Now let's head into the discussion. I like the opening scene, which I already discussed in a previous video this week and everything. It was pretty good, and I liked it. It just showed a good, like, you know, preparation for, like, you know, the Whispers side of things for the battle. All of Eugene's interactions with Stephanie were really sweet and interesting, like how they talked and everything and just stuff like that. Also, it was really cool when Eugene couldn't take it anymore or anything and just revealed his location, like, in the comics, which was pretty cool. Like, I was really hyped when he said that. Also, when Rosita heard Stephanie's voice and Eugene flipped, that was really interesting and intense, because you could tell he was so pissed, and he's never snapped at Rosita ever before and anything, and just how he reacted in there was just pretty interesting. When Eugene sang to Stephanie and everything, it was really sweet and funny and everything, especially when, like, you know, Stephanie revealed a meeting location 1 week that they could meet at, which, you know, is gonna be a bit hard to talk to her now and anything, since, of course, the fucking place is literally up in flames, at least in this episode. But I really can't wait to see, like, her and him on screen together and everything. I feel like it would be awesome to see them finally meet, like, in the week's time, which I think might be episode 14 or 15, I think. Also, Rosita and Eugene's talk and everything where, like, everyone thought, like, oh, this is gonna be the, like, scene where they kiss and everything. I don't know. There's not really much I could say about that scene or anything. It was interesting and funny and everything, I guess. I didn't hate it. Just, like, there's not much I could really say about it. It was fine. I really liked all the scenes between Ezekiel and Carol, like, when they were talking at Daryl's old place. That was really sweet and cool, I think, especially how Ezekiel, like, wouldn't leave Carol alone. But wait, and when they were in the bedroom and everything, wink, wink, and they were talking, that was really nice and everything, but also kind of sad when she, like, discovered his, kind of bum, but I think he told her that he has cancer. I'm not sure. But after they did their, thing, and they talked, that was another one of those scenes that really made it feel like we were watching old Carol, and it was just like how she's slowly healing, which was just really awesome and really nice to see. It was just all around nice to see them, like, talk and everything, and just, like, have fun together and everything, and just be like old, kind of like how they were, like, before and everything, and kind of gaining that back slowly. That group conversation in the Barrington house and everything in that, like, little room and everything, was really interesting. It's always interesting and something that we don't get to see much anymore in the show, or that much in general, is when we get to see everyone in the group discussing something or a conflict, because a lot of people do complain at the show, like, how it has, too many moments where it's just one-on-one and everything, but this actually finally showed lots of group conversation conflict, which I thought was really interesting, like discussing their plan for the war and Earl and everything, kind of like, giving his thing, like, we're going to have to fight. That was pretty cool. Just a good moment in the episode overall. Lydia and Carol's interaction was pretty interesting. Yet again, we got to see some old Carol pop out and everything, her smoking a cigarette, her kind of like, maybe laughing a little bit, I'm not sure. But Lydia carving, like, that H&L thing in was really sweet callback to, like, Henry and Lydia, but kind of sad also since she kind of cried and broke down after it. But the conversation was pretty, like, interesting. Carol and Daryl's interaction was pretty cool. Sad, I guess, since Daryl was, like, staring at graves and everything, and she just said, I hope you don't hate me, and how he replied back saying I never could. It was really sweet, I guess, but he really never, like, he didn't really comfort her or anything. He just walked away when she started to kind of tear up and everything, which you could tell, like, he doesn't hate her like he did say in, like, the scene, but you could tell he's kind of still, like, trying to, like, regain his, like, consciousness to actually, like, talk to her and actually, like, empathize with her again. When Daryl was trying to get the kids out and everything, and they came across, like, that tree down and everything on the road, and the guard was hanging, Jesus Christ, that was awesome. Especially how Daryl, like, knew that it was Negan, because he went, this is Negan, he's with them now, which I was kind of really scared for that piece of dialogue. I hope Daryl doesn't actually think that, like, Negan switched sides all of a sudden. Also, another group moment when they were, like, kind of, like, bringing back the dead and hung soldiers and anything, like I just mentioned, like, the previous point, and they all started to get scared and anything, and no other communities could help, and they all start panicking. Like, everyone actually started getting really scared and genuinely panicked that, like, no other community, like, was able to help, and that there's this gigantic horde coming. And then Earl obviously, broke out with his epic speech and everything about the fight of our lives. That scene was just fucking awesome and powerful. When Kelly, Yumiko, and Luke and everything were preparing, and, like, that horde of rats started coming and everything, and, like, they knew the horde was coming, that was really fucking cool. I mean, the rats kind of looked a bit CGI and everything. They did a little bit, but it was still really cool. Eugene singing while everyone was getting ready was, like, pretty cool. I actually genuinely did like that. I thought it was a cool way to structure, like, them getting ready instead of just playing some, like, stock action music. It was actually really cool. Daryl and Ezekiel's talk, I liked it a lot. They buried the hatch and everything. Daryl and him made a pact to get the kids out if one falls, and Daryl Ezekiel told Daryl kind of about his cancer, which was really cool, kind of sad, but, a pretty interesting moment overall. Daryl and Judith's talk was really sweet and heartwarming. I love how, like, honestly, like, this is serious, I love how innocently Daryl always talks to Judith. Like, it's just so soft and warming and everything, how he talks to her. Also, Daryl's reaction to his new jacket was really sweet. I thought that was really, really, like, nice and everything to watch. Just how he smiled and how they kind of just, like, talked and everything. Like, it was just a really nice scene. Okay, so the battle. Whoa. So there's so much to talk about with this battle and everything that I could go on for hours, but I'll just name my most favorite and key parts of the battle. Them waiting for the horde and just that music and cinematography made it so awesome and tense. Like, all of them just, like, getting ready arm by arm and everything, shield by shield, waiting was just really cool. Kelly feeling the ground and everything and waiting for, like, having it shake and everything, and her knowing that it was shaking because the horde is coming was really fucking cool. The massive scale of the horde and everything shown was just awesome. Just thousands of extras, and holy shit, shit, there was a lot of walkers. The whole fighting scene of the walkers at the gate was awesome. Dale swinging his morning star, seeing Gamma fight and everything, and everyone, like, it all looked so cool. Beta commanding that crew to fire those bags of sap. I think someone corrected me about that. Wasn't sap or anything, but I have no clue what the hell it is. That was really cool and everything, especially how it all launched and everything, and how the whispers were just, like, it's like the small things in this show that really get me just so excited, like that scene. But when all those bags landed, man, and everything, and splattered all over everyone, and like how it went all over everyone, that was really cool. Especially how everyone, especially Daryl, looked extremely concerned about like what the hell just like, you know, came all over us and everything. Like that all just made like the scene so much more awesome. But obviously when someone caught on fire and everything, and obviously Jerry yelled, "It's something like gasoline," or "It's gasoline," I'm not sure what he said. That was so fucking scary and cool. Like that scene was really cool. Negan's interaction with Alpha when they were at, like, you know, the battle and everything was really cool. I found it really cool, especially with, like, you know, Negan's badass whisper mask on and how he called Alpha a badass. It was pretty cool. But when the walkers started to break through the gates and like you could see everyone backing up and evacuating and retreating and running and anything, just the intensity of the scale and like of the, like, you know, soldiers and, like, you know, the horde breaking through and anything, when the whispers raised their bows and start firing, Dale and everyone running back, the blood's like your blood and everything, and like your heart pumping and everything, and just like, you know, the whispers fire their arrows, that awesome bird's eye view and everything of all like the arrows flaming, like going over everyone, and then it happens, the hilltop goes up in flames and everything, everyone's like awesome reactions and everything, and that final shot behind Dale's back, all fucking beautiful. Just like this entire battle and episode was just awesome. So, holy shit, that was my review and discussion video for, you know, episode 11 of season 10, Morning Star. At first, I want to give this episode a 10 out of 10, then I switched it to a 9 out of 10 because there were some things I didn't like after the, like, you know, when I watched the episode. But after just rewatching it now and everything, like, while writing this review and, like, you know, recording this and everything, I do have to say, I'm probably gonna knock it back to a 10 out of 10. Especially that battle scene, man. Like, that shit is something to fucking remember. A lot of people didn't like that the battle started, like, you know, at the very end of the episode, but I was completely fine with it since they're just gonna continue in the next episode and everything, which it's cool because that means you get, like, you know, 2 really intense and good episodes, or I'm not sure, the next episode could suck, which I doubt it will and everything. The next episode does look fucking epic and everything, by the way, and I'll make sure to break down everything for that episode, including, like, you know, sneak peeks in the trailer and all that shit that just actually dropped last night. But I was honestly fine with everything, like all the episode, well, the battle being at the, like, very end and everything, because you needed to really show the build up to the battle and all the emotions, which is done gorgeously. But yeah, 10 out of 10 or anything, and if you stopped watching The Walking Dead, I suggest at least honestly giving this episode a shot, because it will definitely be one to remember, and it'll really give, like, if you're a comic reader or anything, you stopped watching, it'll really bring back, like, you know, the nostalgia and getting to see this awesome battle on screen, I think, from the comics. But it was all really cool and everything. Like I said, I'll make sure to do some videos on episode, I think 12 this week and everything. But yeah, that was my review and discussion for episode 11 of season 10 of The Walking Dead. I hope you guys did enjoy this video and everything. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more of the latest Walking Dead content, reviews, discussions, like, you know, updates and shit. And yep, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, amigos, and peace out.